I'd like to call our meeting to order, and I would like it if we could all stand for a pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm looking for an approval of our meeting agenda. So Chance and Kelsey. Any questions, concerns? Can I have a vote? All those in favor? Now we're going to go into our open public hearing, so you all set? Yep, Maureen? Maureen Ladd will do that. Sit down.
Can you get the presentation? So tonight for the board's consideration on the docket is a property tax exemption for the volunteer firefighter and ambulance workers. I put together just a little something quick, so to try to formalize it because a public hearing is required. This is a new real property tax law that just went into effect, authorizing governing bodies, towns, villages, counties, and school districts to partially exempt up to 10% of the assessed value of a resident who is a volunteer firefighter or ambulance worker. The exemption does not apply to any special assessments. And firefighters, ambulance workers, and such cannot claim this exemption if they're already using the income tax credit that relates to volunteer services. Eligibility is defined as firefighters or volunteer ambulance workers must have at least 2 years of service. The property that's owned must be owned by them, the actual service worker. The property must be their primary residence, and they must live there full time. It must be located within the jurisdiction of the governing body that belongs to it. So for us, it's everybody has to live within the boundaries of the Central Square School District. The property must be used exclusively by the resident for their own use, no portion of it. If there's a portion of it that's used for rental purposes or mixed purposes, it won't be entitled, only the other part that is. And the benefits are also available for lifelong volunteers. Basically, the way it works is each taxing jurisdiction will pass a resolution to allow the exemption, which is what we're doing tonight and why we're having the public hearing. And you'll establish procedures for certifying, and you have choices of 2-year, 5-year, or 20-year membership requirements for the volunteer firefighter or the ambulance worker. The public hearing is required, which is what we're doing right now. The notice must be on the website and posted in the media. Our notices are posted across the district, and we ran it in the paper. The exemption is actually administered by the local assessors. So this is really all that we have to do with regards to this exemption. And then each local assessor will have applications and administer this exemption. This is what it looks like, and it would be effective next year, 24-25, because assessments have already been done for this school, for this taxing year, which means school taxes in the fall and property taxes in January won't reflect it, but it will happen in the next year. And that's really all I could come up with to talk about with it.
Yeah, and if I can just add a bit to that. So originally when the firefighters came and they gave their presentation about this is something that this board had already been looking into. One of the things that this board has been talking about for a very long time is we're a district that has 200 square miles, stretches 3 counties. Very, very, very huge district. It's the largest geographic district in all of New York State. But one of the things that does tie in all of the communities is the idea of service to the community. So when this had come out, volunteer firefighter, these are people that risk their lives going into, burning buildings and whatnot, that it was really a no-brainer. That when it was an opportunity to reward people so they can retain people and incentivize them to come in and put their life on the line, it was really a no-brainer. So that's something that I just wanted to talk about as well.
Thank you. Does the board have any questions about this? And it's a public hearing, so if there's anybody here tonight that is for this proposition that has anything to add. Thank you, Lori. We can close the public hearing.
Okay. Can I get a motion to close the public hearing? Second? All those in favor? No blue cards? Okay. So, we will move into special presentations to the board. Present plaques to outgoing board members. Mud Murphy. And student board rep, Matt Stevens. And to our 2022-23 retirees.
So before we do that, again, I'd like to thank Mud Murphy for his time on the board. Thank you for all that you've done, greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I would also like to thank Matthew Stevens. He's done an outstanding job as a student representative, tirelessly working on many issues, mental health, vaping, a number of different things that he was able to work with us on, that we can, put things. There's things in motion because of the efforts of Matthew Stevens, and we have no doubt that he's going to be an excellent politician someday. Thank you, Matthew.
I could never do. Okay.
Here you go, Mike. On behalf of the board, I'd like to thank you for coming in, not knowing what's going on here, and putting up with us for a couple of years. We really appreciate your devotion to the Central Sports.
You're doing very well. It's been a great experience, it really has.
Good.
I want to say stuff special to me from Paul side. One of the things that I did this year is I went around and went through every building. Paul went with me. We started with a bus garage, and I got into all the mechanics of what goes on. And I want to tell you, there isn't a spare bit of space that is not occupied doing something for the kids in this district. And got to walk through the libraries, through the cafeteria to see what things are going on. We pointed out some things that needed improvement on, and they've already been checked off, and plans are being made to make those improvements, and it's all for the students. And the maintenance department, Paul, I think you said you had 5 or 6 people that work for you. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. If you went and looked at the steam plant, or the heating plants, the air conditioning plants, and that have to be taken care of, let alone all the outdoor maintenance, inside maintenance, right down to the point when I went into a room, it was I had a lady in there working on fixing computers that break down. I went to school here a long time ago, 63 years ago, as a matter of fact. I may be one of the oldest board members you've ever had. And just in, what has happened in six decades with computers and stuff has completely changed. I don't think there's a teacher or administrator could do what this school district is doing now. And I have become extremely impressed, not only with Mr. Calabufo, but the administration as a whole, and the way they handle things, and the reporting and the information we get from Maureen, it's amazing. And Aaron, you're standing there, and the information you give us all the time on education and stuff has been fantastic, along with the rest of them. So it's a little bit long-winded, but I had to say it, and it's been an absolute pleasure spending this 1 year here on the Board of Education, to know that my alma mater is in good hands. Thank you.
Matthew would like to thank you as well. You want to shake everybody's hand one last time?
One last time. Congratulations again.
Yeah.
Thank you, Matt, done a great job.
Awesome job.
There you go.
I don't know, is it on?
Yes.
Okay. So we are going to recognize some very special people tonight as they enter into a new phase of their life with retirement, and we could not be more happy for these people. So the first one is Susan Day, who is retiring from a teaching assistant at A.A. Cole she's been with us for 23 years. So Mr. Smolnick has put together a little ditty for us. So Susan Day has worked tirelessly as a teaching assistant in the Central Square School District for 23 years. She is the consummate professional who does her job and does it well. Her contributions to the staff, students, and surrounding communities are very much appreciated. While it's difficult to accept losing a stellar employee such as Susan, we are so happy to see her start the next phase of her life. Good luck in retirement, Susan. Carol Martin, who also is not with us tonight, is retiring after 22 years as a physical therapist with us. She is a district employee. She travels all over the place. And as a principal and as a teacher, she has been a team player, works tirelessly with kids. I would always see her with the kids on their scooters, riding up and down the hallways. Kids have made a lot of growth with their physical development, thanks to Carol. And her shoes are not going to be easy to fill. As I was doing interviews for her position, it was very difficult because we have not had to hire a physical therapist in a very long time. So congratulations to Carol. And Mr. King is going to introduce the Central Square Middle School retirees.
For us this evening, we have 4 retirees in attendance. Our first retiree is Denise Bazinski. With 18 years experience, Denise has been in our foundations classroom for the last 2 years, and to work within that program truly takes a person of patience, caring, more patience, and truly a person that's devoted to students. Denise, congratulations. Our next person is also a teaching assistant. She has been lucky enough to work with some of our most difficult students, as she has often been held in school suspension. Not because of her, but because of some of the wonderful deeds of others. Tina seems to be a person that appears everywhere and all the time, whether it's in detention coverage, athletic study hall coverage, or any of the musical events we have at the high school to help make sure that the students stay organized. I know one of the things I'm going to miss from her is making sure she makes up all of the makeup passes for state assessments. Tina, congratulations on your
I want to do you now we can walk again. Thank you so much.
Our next person truly might be one of the most amazing people that is, I don't know what beyond caring is. I don't know what the word is. But she does so many things behind the scenes that no one has any clue about, which makes her be that person that's even more special than the word special could be. Because she truly does it just from the heart and is truly genuine about it. Cindy Edick, you finally get to graduate.
7 years.
26 years and 5 months. Congratulations.
So I have to say this. So I taught in Ireland for 2 years. I lived in Dublin, Ireland. And I gotta tell you, whenever I come to middle school and I call that the Irish smile. It's always ear to ear with a big smile, and you will be missed. Thank you so much.
Last and finally not least, this may actually age me as well, because this is the first, and from what I can recall, the only person that I'll ever present at a retirement that was a substitute for me, had children in my own health class, coached children playing lacrosse, and now I get to work with in a completely different capacity. Janice, you know, the word nice is right in her name. Was once on her license plate too. I'll never forget the license plate. That's why I knew if Janice was in that day. Janice, again, she's just another one of our staff members. Honestly, she's just a sweetheart. You enjoy seeing her in the hallway. I'm sure some days are better than others, but I can tell you she does one heck of a job hiding it on the days that aren't the greatest. And always has a good morning or a good afternoon whenever you see her. And those little things, they'll be missed. Come on up, Janice. Just so they can be recognized, we had 3 other retirees out of the middle school. We had Ken Rudy, teaching assistant, with 18 years and 4 months. Kathy Butler, teaching assistant, 22 years, 11 months. And Larry Stewart, 27 years and 6 months. Thank you.
We will have Heidi Sweeney come up and do the P.B. Moore High School retiree.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to all of our retirees. Our first retiree, Marianne Dano, was a monitor for our school district for 27.5 years. I had the pleasure of meeting Marianne and working with her in the fall before her retirement. She's now living in Florida full-time and loves the sunshine. we couldn't convince her to come up for tonight's ceremony. She does plan on relaxing in the constant warmth, and Mary Ann's children and grandchildren have a permanent vacation spot free of charge. So congratulations to Mary Ann Dano.
I just have to say this real quick too. So Mary Ann Dano, I would always get Recess Coffee because her son owns Recess Coffee Company. And now it's sad that I'm not getting that Recess Coffee. Congratulations.
Our second retiree is Raymond Todd Harned, a teacher of 21.1 years with us. Todd loves basketball and previously taught in Syracuse City, which I think contributes to his love of Syracuse basketball. Little known fact, his mother and sister were Red Hawks here in Central Square, and he is very much looking forward to time to relax with his wife, and we wish him the very best. Our next retiree, Sandra Rayo, is a teaching assistant with 24 years at Central Square School District. In speaking with a number of people at Paul V. Moore, one thing that kept coming up was her kindness towards students. People told me stories about how Sandy has helped students go on trips when they couldn't afford to do so, supported them academically, and she has started a scholarship in her husband's memory. She works with all of her students in the classroom, not only her assigned students, and she wants her students to always be the best they can be. She plans to move closer to her sisters, spending more time with her family, including her son and 3 grandchildren. And when Sandy talks about her family, her happiness shows. She's very proud. We'll miss her after this school year, but we hope she has many wonderful family-filled times ahead of her. Congratulations, Sandy. Thank you.
Paul Rosette for our maintenance department.
Good evening, everyone. So I have 2 this evening. First is Carrie Greenlee. Carrie started with the Central Square School District when the middle school opened 30 years ago. Carrie started her career working nights at the middle school, and through her career has worked the night shift at Hastings Mallory, Brewerton, and Millett Hawk. Carrie also spent time working in the shipping and receiving department in the old district office, sorting and delivering packages. I'm sure she has fond memories of walking up and down those district stairs multiple times during her trip. When needed, Carrie would drive the mail truck, delivering packages to all buildings in the district. She worked her way up to a day custodian at the high school, and this is where she finished her career. Carrie was very involved with the high school activities, including working sporting events for athletics and even volunteering her time for the students. We thank her for her 30 years of service. The second one I have this evening is Dave Johnson. Dave is a maintenance worker down at the maintenance center. He started here as a sub, doing maintenance work, and worked his way up to maintenance mechanic 1. He's a highly intelligent problem solver. I don't know if there's anything that I could give Dave that he could not fix. Dave has been my go-to for many projects. He's been extremely helpful as we expanded the camera coverages in the buildings, expanded card access systems, and moved to the new, more secure keying system. Whenever there was a problem, I knew that I could count on Dave to make it right. Dave had a great personality and gets along well with everyone. He has a great sense of humor and never misses an opportunity to give someone a jab for a good laugh. One thing I could always count on was Dave telling me exactly what was on his mind. Dave and I work very well together, and he's definitely always been an asset to the district. I've truly enjoyed working with Dave, and his shoes are going to be tough to fill. Dave has worked for the district for just about 17 years.
Good evening, I'm John Pierce from Transportation. I have 6 staff that are retiring this year, and there's 3 that's not present, and I just want to recognize them. Darlene Guthrie, bus driver, 27.6 years. Ed Lesnow, 13.6 years, bus driver. And Terry Reynolds, bus monitor, for 9 years. The 3 that are in attendance tonight, I have one typist, Kathy Knapp. Kathy, as you reach this milestone of 30.1 years of service, I want to take a moment to express my heartfelt appreciation for your dedicated service. Your commitment and contributions have made a significant impact on the transportation family. Thank you for your support throughout the years. Your skills and expertise were invaluable, ensuring the smooth operation of our transportation department. Your attention to detail, your accuracy and efficiency have helped keep everything running seamlessly. Now, Kathy and I have a little joke that whenever drivers come in or parents call or whatever, they go way around to try to get to the point. And Kathy's, we're just like, get to the facts, ma'am, get the facts, we need the facts. Beyond your professional abilities, your kindness, your approachability have made you a joy to work with. Kathy always says that she felt like she was a den mother. And that's true, because whenever I come back for a meeting or doing a follow along or whatever, Kathy would have somebody in the other office, talking to them, hugging them, might be some tears going or whatever, but she was always there. And your willingness to assist others, answering questions and offering guidance created a positive and a supportive atmosphere within our team. Your friendly demeanor and positive attitude have brightened many days, a lot of my days, and made our workplace feel like a second home. And a second home, I could tell when Kath was upset with me because she was kind of quiet for a couple of days. So I'm like, yeah, kind of felt like home. And then she'd come in, shut my door, we'd have a conversation, and we were back on track. Kathy, thank you for all your years of exceptional service to our district. We are grateful for your tireless efforts and the positive impact you have had on our school community. May your future be filled with joy and fulfillment. Congratulations, 30.1 years. Come on up.
Many times I had to go to the transportation center and all craziness broke loose. There could be 50 trees down in a windstorm, snow came out of nowhere, but she would always greet me the same way. Hey Tom, how's it going? What can I do for you? As if there was no problems out there. I will miss that.
Next, I want to recognize our bus drivers and our monitors. I'm going to do this together because I truly believe that a bus driver and a bus monitor are a team. And you go up together, you go down together, you were there for the whole season. We have one bus monitor, Beth McGill, 22.7 years it's here right now, and Jeannie Reed for 27.6. As school bus driver and monitor, you have played a pivotal role in the lives of countless students, ensuring their safe journeys to and from school every day. Your commitment to their well-being is commendable. The impact you've had on the students you transported goes far beyond the simple act of just driving a bus or being a monitor. As a first and last person from the district to see your students, you provided a warm and welcoming environment, offering a smile, a kind word, or a listening ear when needed. Your presence became a source of comfort and a sense of security during those early morning and late afternoon drives. Your positive attitudes, willingness to go the extra miles have inspired us all. While we miss seeing your smiling faces around transportation, we wish you all a happy retirement filled with joy and relaxations. May the next chapter of your life be everything you envisioned and more. But most importantly, take this time to reflect on the impact you've had and know that your contributions will be forever cherished. Beth McGill, 22.7 years old. I guess we can bring Jeannie Reed up. 27.6 years. Come on up. Thank you.
not with us tonight, but I will speak on her behalf. Cindy retired from my office I want to say it was November, with several years of service, but even more so. Cindy was part-time, but Cindy was almost with us every day till about 4 o'clock anyway, because the work didn't go away and Cindy was always willing to stay with us and get it done. Cindy's probably one of the kindest, always cheerful individuals in the office. I think I made her a nervous wreck. I know I made her a nervous wreck. All I would have to do is come out and say, Cindy, I have a question. She'd look at me and say, what? I'm like, no, it's okay, it's just a question. So, again, I want to recognize Cindy, the 10 years of part-time service, but it was really full-time service. Like I said, she just stayed until the job got done. She was very dedicated to us. I can't say that she was replaced, but we did bring in a different individual, so I'm hoping she's going to come out with us in the next couple of weeks as I make the departure from the office as well. So congratulations to Cindy Brown, 10 years of service with the personnel office. Gone but not forgotten.
Good evening. I'm Maria Gershwin. I'm the Director of Technology, and I'm here to talk about Lisa Randall. So Lisa Randall has been working in our print shop for 40 years. Wow. Just take that in. I can't imagine doing anything for 40 years. So that's dedication. You think about how challenging that print shop can be. We learned this during COVID when Lisa had to go out because she was ill. And there are 3 intelligent people standing down there looking at those copiers going, we have no idea. We have no idea how to run these machines. So she's been invaluable to the district for many years. She's been a dedicated employee. She's worked very hard. And we wish you the very best luck in your retirement, Lisa.
So just want to pause for a second, and I want to thank Conchetta Galvan. This is Connie's second retirement in 2 years. So we were able to convince Connie to stay on as we were transitioning with our personnel, and she did that. She officially retired last year, but really I don't really recognize that because she came to work every day tirelessly, working and still connecting with students, which is really what her passion was. So,
as a student, normally I don't get to talk in meetings like this, but I can tell you one of the stories during COVID. I went down with a horrific knee injury my freshman year, and I ended up having corrective surgery my sophomore year, and I fell really behind in Spanish. That was not my thing, that and math. And I remember we were still trying to find a teacher because our original teacher was on maternity leave, and Ms. Galvan stepped in. And I can tell you the reason why I passed was because of her. She was like a private tutor. She helped me and a few other students, and she really helped me grasp Spanish. And I can tell you that memory will always live on because that's what a teacher is. That's what a model citizen is. So, I want to say thank you for that. I don't know how I would be able to repay that debt because, that is just beyond kindness. So I want to say thank you. I want to say congratulations on your retirement, and I hope the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you, Maurice. Maurice, she said she's going to Venmo you the $200 after. Thank you. Can we have all of the retirees here to come back, and our great PR rep from City Boys is going to take a picture of everybody together. So if everybody can come to this side over here, on the other side of this, that'd be great. Yeah. And after they take the picture, we'd like everybody to have a piece of cake. Or bring a piece of cake home. Okay, executive session is right? Yep, executive session. Roll, Alexis. Lori, no.
That's it. Everyone said the same thing.
Is that on right now? Okay, then I'm not gonna say go. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Lori.
Okay, let's see, I need a motion to move into executive session. All in favor? Let's see. We are moving into executive session to discuss litigation of the matter of a special education student and the matter leading to the employment of 2 people with action to follow.
All right. Go on in.
motion to come out of executive session?
So moved.
Thank you. All in favor? Thank you. If I could have Jennifer Condrick and Jessica Hill. No. This is executive.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know.
Too
All right, congratulations.
late, Jen. That's all right. I'm running the show tonight. Okay. Welcome Jennifer Condrick, who's going to be a secondary assistant principal, and Jessica Hill, who's going to be our secondary assistant principal at the high school. Thank you.
Now we're officially going to vote.
Okay. So now, let's see. I thought we were, no, we're going to be ready. Okay, can I?
Yes. Okay, now it's an official, then you should say, right? There you go, you vote on the personal.
Yep, all in favor? Welcome aboard. Okay, so now we're going to item E, personnel. Can I have a motion to accept item E? Second? All in favor? Okay, now is there any reason I have to take a second about that? No, okay. Moving on to item F, which is our consent agenda. Can I have a motion to accept the consent agenda? Second? All in favor? Okay. Okay, moving on to item G, reports. Student board rep, Mia, do you have anything?
I do, and it's gonna be a little long, but there's just so much that happened this year that I'm gonna try to compact down. So it's not the end of the school year, a time in which we reflect on the events that have occurred over the past few months. And as I reflect, I think of all we have accomplished this year. So let me take you through just a glimpse of the historic progress we made this year. We started the year with the annual homecoming, the annual celebration of the flock coming home. With it being the first year without COVID restrictions, we said that it was time to go big or go home. And this year's homecoming had 4 big events: the pep rally, the Red Hawk rally, the block party, and of course the big game. We celebrated the new year in a big way, and then we got right to work. When I first became the student board rep, I told this board that it was my goal and my promise to work on substance use and mental health. I told you that we were going to increase visibility and awareness for these resources and work to expand those resources so we can not only improve lives, but save lives. And I highlighted that we shouldn't wait for a crisis to work on these issues. Each student has their battles that they're fighting every day, and it is our job to show that we are there for them. And this year we made a significant amount of progress. When I learned that the opioid overdose reversal drug Narcan was not available in our school in case of an emergency, I met with administration and discussed what our plan was currently in the case of an overdose. We realized that this was an area for improvement, and we agreed that something needed to be done, and that something would get done. This year, there was now a staff development where certain members of the faculty were trained in Narcan and given the nasal spray kits so that we no longer have to just wait. We can now take action in those first few minutes that we hope we may never need to and potentially save a life. We created a stronger bond between counselors and support staff and students by connecting them throughout the year at various check-in events and included these staff in many events to help show the students that there will always be people here to support them. We put Central Square on the national stage and stood in solidarity with local, state, and federal leaders in taking on vape companies that were manipulating and harming our students through suspected evasion of federal regulations to get youth addicted to their dangerous products. We started a conversation about making good decisions through the first ever Futures and Decisions Week. That week we brought together school officials, community partners, and students in a series of events to work to set a new path for making better and safer decisions. A highlight of that week was the keynote by the incredible Kara Filler, one of the top female motivational speakers in the field, who believes it's not the events that happen in our lives that make us who we are, but the meaning we give those events that control the steering wheel of our lives. And just last week, I joined a few youth on the final stop of the Governor's Youth Mental Health Listening Tour, the last addition to the around 250 youth participants from around the state. In collaboration with the Office of Mental Health and the Office of Children and Family Services, we talked about social media, education, resources, services, and all of the other main aspects of mental health, both the issues and the ideas for solutions. This conversation will help guide the allocation of $1 billion of the state budget, which is dedicated to mental health services, $30 million of which is directed to mental health services for school-age children and largely targeted directly to the schools. Lastly, we took student leadership to new heights. We elected from our school a new District 10 rep to the New York State Council on Leadership and Student Activities, which has not changed since 2019 when I took up the position. We got the first in around a decade adult advisors for District 10 for NYSCLSA. And between these excellent leaders, District 10 is in safe hands to make its return as it hosts the NYSCLSA conference next year right in Syracuse, which hasn't happened in around 20 years. We developed the Student Embassy, which over the next few years will take shape to improve our efforts to support our freshmen, students who transfer in, and our foreign exchange students. They will ensure that we welcome all new students with open arms to our community and provide them with the tools necessary to lay a strong foundation to thrive at school. We also established the first ever Student Advisory Board, which will assist our new student board rep in effectively representing the students of our diverse and incredible district and elevate the student voice. Through this group, we will open the door for more students to make sure their voice is heard, as we have always promised to do. These are just some of the things we accomplished, and if you know me, you know my favorite tie is a Constitution tie, and the big letters on the top says "We the People." So these are things that we accomplished. We, the board, the administrators, the staff, the teachers, the student government, the students, the Red Hawk community, we the people. We all played a role in getting these things done one way or another, and this year was a true testament to our core principle, which is reflected by this progress. We realized that as one we rise, together we do soar. And this year the students, the staff, and everyone rose, and together we soared to new heights. The only question is this: where are we soaring to next? What new heights are we heading for? So with that, I say thank you, each and every one of you, for making this year what it was, and making this district what it is today. The future is bright. Thank you.
So Matthew, I'd like to say on behalf of the Board of Education and all the administration, first I'd like to thank every teacher, counselor, support staff that had a positive influence on you and contributed to what you have accomplished here throughout your time in Central Square, but especially as a student board rep, and accomplishing all the things that you just mentioned, especially with substance abuse and mental health. Dr. Doherty used to be a superintendent here years ago, and he used to always, when he saw somebody doing something amazing, please, anybody correct me if I'm wrong, because I know I've been told this all the time, he said, "You're what's right with Central Square." Right, Maureen?
Right.
And clearly, Matthew Stevens, you're what's right with Central Square. And I know someday you're most likely going to come back to this area, go into politics, but I also want you to keep your mind open to being an actual board member when you return here, because you've done so much for this community, and we're so appreciative. Thank you.
Matthew, I just want to take a quick second and thank you. As a mom in this district, I appreciate everything that you've done and that you've worked so hard to accomplish. And I think what you've done, you might not see how amazing it is, but I think 10 years from now, there's children that will come through these schools that are still going to benefit from all of your hard work. So, just so you know, don't ever think that it was something small or something that you just did while you were, the board representative. You've done something that's going to continue to be a lasting movement. And you really should be very proud of you. I am, and I'm not even your mom, and I'm so proud of you. But you've done such a good job, and you are going to achieve wonderful things. I see you might be president someday. I don't know, but I would vote for you.
Let's see. Do any board members have anything they'd like to share?
I would just like to share, it's been a pleasure being on this board for a year, and what I've learned about the district, the school, the staff, it's very comforting. And now somebody says, "Oh, my school tax are too high." No, we're really tight. So, yeah, this has really been a pleasure. And I just had to tell a quick story about Matt. In one of my mayorships, Matt was probably about 4 years old, maybe 5. I came into the office and his mom was a trustee and she was working in the other room. And I walked into the mayor's office, there's Matt sitting in my chair, this big grin in his face. I said, "What do you do, Mr. Mayor?" "Yeah." Here he is. You'll make the man.
That's great. Oh, yes. Got it. And finally, really quickly, superintendent report. The following varsity teams qualified for the NYSPHSAA Spring Scholar Athlete Award, and that means that the whole average of the team is 90 or above. We have baseball, boys outdoor track and field, boys tennis, girls golf, girls lacrosse, girls outdoor track and field, and softball. Our athletic teams did a phenomenal job this year with not just the character on the team or whatnot, not even just with the wins, because they were definitely there in sectional play and whatnot, but always the most important thing that stands out to all of us educators are how, this year we had 26 total teams throughout the year that were the academic scholar athlete team, which is very impressive. So I just wanted to be able to say that. And again, thank you to, again, all of the teachers that work with those students and the coaches, and thanks for this, the athletes and their amazing supportive parents. Mrs. Angela Enoch, librarian at Central Square Middle School, applied for the OCM BOCES SLS system and won the author visit from Dusty Bowling. So we think that's great every time we have staff members apply for these grants, because when they do, we usually get them. So again, that is my superintendent report. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item H. We're going to take item H 1 through 6, and then item 7 is a roll call vote. So can I get an approval for 8 items for discussion and action, H 1 through 6? Motion. Chance, second. And Munn? All in favor? Okay, item H is approval of the bus bond resolution. So let's see, Randy's absent. I'm a yes. Allison? Christie's absent. Munn?
Yes.
Chance? Yes. Steve?
Yes.
And Ken?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for putting up with me tonight. I'm a little rusty. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Second. Thank you. All in favor?